Dream of a life of seeing cool stuff, natural wonders, and collecting memories and friends instead of stuff? Then this is for you.
Because we're quitting the job, pulling up stakes, and hitting the road. And we're going to take you with us every step of the way.
Hey roamers, I'm Jamie.
I'm Linda.
And this is Roaming with Rosie.
It was almost a year ago that I was furloughed from work. We were both sick with COVID, and we produced a series where we asked some experts about their advice for getting ready for full-time RV life.
We learned about medical coverage options for life on the road. We also learned about work opportunities, both in person and remote, and we also learned about work camping.
And we discussed whether we should keep a sticks and bricks or whether we should sell it or rent it. And also we learned about the best ways to get internet coverage as well as cell service.
There's a link somewhere up here for that series playlist, and we'll also include a link in the description below.
So when I returned to work this past fall, I was a changed person. I'd never been away from a job that long, but it really motivated me to change my life and make things happen. Last week we announced that I'm leaving my job this summer, and now we're taking all the steps we need to take to make that RV life a real thing.
On an upcoming episode, we're going to talk about creating a vision board. Now, we believe that having a clear vision of what you want your life to look like is a very important step. Clearing roadblocks has been another big thing. Simple things that we didn't realize were obstacles until we had solved those obstacles.
So for me, it was a refrigerator. In original Rosie, we had a smaller, typical RV refrigerator, and we knew that we would replace it with a full-size refrigerator, like a residential one, eventually, but we didn't set a date and say, we need to change this before we get on the road. And then when we accidentally changed RVs, it came with a full-size residential refrigerator, and we went out for a long period of time in the RV, and it felt more home-like. It felt more like, oh yeah, now I can see myself living on the road, and I didn't even realize that was an obstacle before.
When I was initially installing the electrical system and I was having hiccups and it wasn't working correctly, I'm like, I don't know how this is ever going to work and how we're going to be able to boondock and all that kind of stuff, which is a big part of what we want to do. So once that all came together and then we used it when we were out in Courtside, you kind of see how it opens the door and you're like, wow, this is really going to work.
Yeah, so for Jamie, it was the power system, and for me, it was food. How am I going to keep food, get food, and all that? So sometimes finding those obstacles that you don't even know are there is a big solution to getting over the hurdle.
Right.
And making whatever your vision is happen.
Right. Now, each of us may have a different reason for what motivates us to want to have this lifestyle.
So, part of it is getting the house ready in case we decide that we want to rent it or sell it somewhere along the path. And so yesterday I was out and I was doing spring cleaning here in our backyard, and I really love this backyard. But as I was doing it and cleaning and getting things ready, I started thinking, oh, well, in this pot over here, maybe I'd like to plant some roses and stuff. So I go inside and I tell Jamie, I think we should plant some roses in there.
Yeah, and I gently reminded her that how are we going to have roses and take care of them and water them if we're going to be on the road?
And that gentle reminder sounded more like, what are you, nuts? I thought we were cleaning up so we could get on the road. But
right,
still, we
right.
could laugh about it, because
right.
That's the most important thing of making this happen.
Right.
And we really did crack up, because it's really easy to drift back into your comfort zone. And this backyard is very much my comfort zone. So we each have our reason that's personal to us.
Right.
That's our incentive and our motivation to having this kind of a life.
Right.
And so anytime that I get scared or come up with other brilliant ideas, he just has to remind me, you have a reason why you want to do this. And time is flying. I just hit 60, and I don't want to wait. I don't want to miss that opportunity to do something really cool like this.
No, because, you know, both of us, I'm going to be 60 in a couple of days, and we look at it and go, you know, you can see videos of
That was
us.
his way of reminding me it's going to be my birthday this week.
Right, yeah. And whatever birthday present I want has to do with the RV. So, but
You're getting solar.
right, yeah, I'm getting solar for my birthday. But I mean, if you watch our videos, we're all about, yes, we are getting older, but we still believe that there's a lot of things we can still do and enjoy doing, like kayaking, hiking, and all those types of things. And if we were to wait, who knows if we're still going to be capable of doing the things we want to do. So just got to do it. Just got to pull the plug and do it.
Because we both still have that underlying reason, and even though that
Right.
reason is deeply personal to each person, the goal is the same that we have. So we need reminders of what it is that makes us want to have this different kind of a life.
While cleaning and throwing things out and also posting things for sale, we've been creating a task list and a timeline to get on track and stay there.
We're complete opposites on how we approach task lists. Neither of us ideally is doing it the right way.
Right. My task list is in my head. Basically, I have a plan of the things I want to get done for that day, and by the end of the day, there are some tasks that don't get completed because I don't have them written down, and I fully agree with that. Linda will bring that up and say, you need to write that down.
Or that wasn't important today.
That
This
wasn't
was
important.
important today. So for me, I create a task list. I write everything down. Before I even finish writing it down, I already have a list of subtasks in my head. And then really quickly I can get totally overwhelmed if I'm just left alone in my own head. And then I just want a glass of wine.
But it would benefit me to write things down, because that way I could look, because sometimes you can get so wrapped up into one thing you just not realize half of your day has been gone.
The benefits of a task list, though, one of the great things is to be able to cross things off. So you can feel that sense of accomplishment at each step of the way when you can literally cross it off. And when you work as a team, you can delegate the work.
Right. The only bad thing is I think everything kind of gets delegated towards me.
We asked some of our fellow RVers who've recently made the jump to full-time to share some of their ideas with you. And in the coming weeks, we'll share some of their advice and experiences that they've had. So we asked them to share their experience by answering 2 questions.
Other than selling all of your stuff in your home, what were a couple of other things you wish you knew before you moved into your RV?
And what is something that you were really glad you did or prepared for prior to your launch?
Theresa and Mike started their YouTube channel Meant to Be RVing before they hit the road, and their motto is, you're never too old and it's never too late.
They hold a live virtual campfire every Friday night, and it attracts nomads from all over the place. And it was pretty cool when we all met up in Quartzsite and everybody felt like they already knew each other.
And here's the advice they wish they knew before they hit the road full time. First was how to choose the right RV for them, learning that their dream RV was not necessarily the right RV for their lifestyle, so they had to downsize.
Things they're glad they did before they went full time. We made an exit and emergency plan and discussed this with our family. And then they discussed their plan in case something should happen to each other. And they also let two of our family members know where we're traveling at all times, and they can follow them on an app. That sounds really like a great thing. For us, some of the immediate things to take care of revolve around losing the benefits from my job. So we're going to take care of all of our medical and dental and things that will have us paying more out of pocket later.
And this includes Dexter as well. We're going to get him up to date on all of his shots, we're going to get his teeth cleaned, and we're also going to look into pet insurance that will cover him all over the U.S. We need to decide on what clubs and memberships we want to belong to, such as Passport America, Escapees, Thousand Trails, Harvest Host, etc. We didn't think we needed to do that in the very beginning, but now that we're going to give ourselves kind of a timeline, we realize, wait a minute, if we want to make plans to be somewhere, we're going to have all these things in place.
Yeah, so in order to make reservations, we need to have those memberships, and we've already been invited to meet up with people in different locations, and they have the memberships, so we just realized we're gonna have to go ahead and get signed up. And like Jamie said, we need to set that date. I think we need that as the motivator. So we've set the date for when I leave my job, but how long after that is the date where we actually hit the road? And I think if we don't do that, then we won't create a real sense of urgency
No.
until then.
Some people have suggested a trial run, like 30 or 60 days, and that's something we may have to think about.
Yeah, if we did that, it would be less about seeing if we like the lifestyle and more about property management and thinking, okay, well, if we go out 30 or 60 days, we only have to think this long ahead for our property management. But we live in a snowbird neighborhood in Arizona, and people close up their houses here for 6 months or more. So I just think we have to wrap our head around shutting down the house for that long
Right,
while we head out.
right. Here's some of the important things we still have to do. We have to decide on mail forwarding services. We have to create a budget, and we're going to talk more about that in future episodes.
Yeah, and if you have advice on things that help you get to your full-time RV life, then please share them down below in the comments. And also check out down below for a link to our roamingwithrosie.com blog, because we're going to put our task list, it's hard to say, in there, and we'll keep it live. Like, we'll cross out as we get stuff done and add stuff. So we'll keep that up on the blog.
Next week, we're going to share more tips from other full-time RVers about things they wish they knew and things they're glad that they did before hitting the road.
And hopefully we'll have gotten rid of some more stuff.
So make sure and hit that subscribe button.
And ring that bell so you'll be notified each time we put out a new video.
And make sure to leave a comment so you can be part of the conversation.
Until next time.
See ya.
See ya.
Hey roamers, make sure and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and leave a comment so you can be part of the conversation.